Hello! Today I want to talk about puns. I love puns. I've loved puns ever since I was small. I used to listen to my parents' LPs as they were back then, Peter Sellers, Flanders and Swan, watch old Groucho Marx, the Marx Brothers films. I absolutely love that sort of stuff. Plays on words. It's humour, and it's humour that's got an intelligence behind it. I love Scrabble, I love words, I love plays on words. Particularly, I love still the humour of Groucho Marx, and now, more recently, I love the humour of Tim Vine. Now, how can I talk, though, about puns without sharing some of my favourites with you? I mean, basically, I come up with puns as a response to what other people say, whether it's verbally or online. And, pick up on or twist something that they've said. Just for a comic effect, not to be nasty. But let me share some of my favourites with you. You've probably heard some of these, but I don't know if you've heard all of them. First, the Groucho Marx ones. A few of my favourites. Outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. I've had a perfectly wonderful evening, but this wasn't it. Well, those are my principles, and if you don't like them, well, I have others. One morning I shot an elephant in my pyjamas. How he got in my pyjamas I'll never know. And finally, either this man's dead or my watch has stopped. Absolutely creases me up every time I watch these. I know the gags are coming, I know what they are, and they crease me every time. His delivery is absolutely spot on. As for Tim Vine, a few of my favourites from Tim Vine. So, somebody actually complimented me on my driving today. They left a little note on the windscreen, and it said, "Parking fine." So that was nice. So I rang up a local building firm and said, "I want to skip outside my house." He said, "I'm not stopping it." I'll tell you what I love doing more than anything, trying to pack myself in a small suitcase. I can hardly contain myself. So I was getting into my car, and this bloke says to me, "Can you give me a lift?" I said, "Sure, you look great and the world's your oyster. Go for it." And the advantage of easy origami is twofold. So I said to the travel agent, "I want to go to Paris." He said, "You're a star." I said, "Well, I've been on the telly, but I'm no Bruce Forsyth." Tim Vine is an absolutely brilliant comedian. One of my favourite puns of all time was one that I heard, about 7 years ago. I've been able to use this so many times, just somehow fit it in anytime anyone talks about shopping or food or going to exotic places. A little while ago I found a marketplace and it was selling jelly and custard in hundreds and thousands. It was a trifle bizarre. Journalist William Safire once said, "A pun is to wordplay what dominatrix sex is to foreplay. A stinging whip that elicits groans of guilty pleasure." I can see what he means. A lot of people groan at puns. I mean, I love them. Even I groan at some of them, but I love the fact that they've made me groan. But the history of puns doesn't just stop with Shakespeare, who put in a few puns. King Charles I's jester, Archie Armstrong, directed a notoriously poisonous pun at the Archbishop of Canterbury at the time, called William Lord. Whilst saying grace, Archie came out with, "Great praise be given to God, and little Lord to the devil." Lord also meaning praise at the time. Such behaviour, though, got the jester fired and ejected from court, with his coat pulled over his head. Not that the Archbishop got off much better. He eventually fell from favour and had his head lopped off. So after all this, one question remains. Are puns the lowest form of wit? Sigmund Freud thought they were, because he said puns can be formed with the least effort. Because one of the finest puns of all time is a Freudian slip is when you say one thing but mean another. I can give the last word, though, to American wit Oscar Levant, who said it best. "A pun is the lowest form of humour, when you don't think of it first."